Welcome to Positively Muskegon. It's Andy O'Reilly, and you may recognize the bald man next to me. We're part of the Bald Man's Union. Join us today. Nate Johnson is here. Nate is with the Fresh Coast Alliance, which has had a name change recently.
Yeah.
We've talked about 70x7 quite a few times here on the Positively Muskegon blog. It's a great program, 70x7. New name,
Yeah.
same mission.
Yeah.
Let's give them a little refresher. I mean, it's a recidivism thing to keep people that have spent some time in jail from going back to jail. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so many of you may know that we started out working with people just coming home from incarceration, specifically prison, and now we've expanded to where we work with men and women coming home from not only prison, but coming home from jail as well, too.
Okay.
Now, we don't just stop there. We also work with people coming out of addiction.
Okay.
So we've expanded in terms of, since last time we were on here, from just offering just employment and mentoring opportunities. We also have a housing program now, a men and women's house for recovery, where people can come into transitional housing. We have a whole recovery component to it now, where we have recovery coaches, where an individual can get one-on-one recovery coaching, along with recovery services here.
How about that?
We also own a therapy practice called Alcohol Chemical Abuse Consultants,
Nice.
which is right on the corner of Roberts and Apple. So we have professional counselors and doctors and therapists on staff that we have from working with trauma, behavioral health, substance use disorder, all those different things where they can come and actually get professional help in that regard.
How is did you plan on this kind of growth when you got things going, or is it just kind of the way?
It's just kind of just how what it's evolved into. I think as we begin to go and build momentum and things just begin to happen, it was like door after door and opportunity opened up, and as we saw that they were great opportunities,
Sure.
right? And the doors open, and we felt
What we needed.
good, and it's something that was needed. It was helpful, and so we walked into those opportunities.
I love these things.
And then we also have all the reentry stuff with employment, people finding challenges with getting back to work because of a felony, criminal history, whatever it may be. They come. We have the Impact Employment Program. We have support groups, mentoring groups, and and just a tribe of people here that's ready to work with those coming out of incarceration.
I love the growth.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember our earlier days. I was sitting here with a GoPro still.
Yeah, that's true.
You were just getting started. I was just getting started, and it's just that continued positive messaging and filling those needs when we see them and things like that. So, congratulations to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
What brought the name change about? Was it just all the different services?
Just all the different. It's an alliance now of the therapy practice, the housing program, then the employment program, the mentoring, the recovery stuff. So I was just like,
Fresh
we're
Coast.
expanding. Yeah.
Yep.
We hear a lot about, within the reentry recovery world, hear a lot about different groups out in California, the West Coast, groups out in New York, East Coast. And we just hadn't heard much about what was going on in the Midwest. At least we hadn't. Not that they're not there, but we hadn't. And so we're on Lake Michigan, freshwater. We're on the Fresh Coast. So
love it.
Hey, let's do it. So it signifies where we're at on the map.
Doing great things. And I see you got a big presence down at Unity.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got our booth first year.
How about that?
Yeah, it's great, man. We're loving it.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Include a little fun into your message as well.
For sure.
You got a couple of events coming up here. Let's talk about these things.
Yeah, so the first one is Facing Choices, partnering up with DJ Hilson down at the Brunswick.
Friend of ours.
Yep. Chief Thomas.
I don't know if he would admit that to everybody, especially with me.
Exactly, yeah.
Great guy.
Exactly, yeah, he is. He's been a real champion of what we're doing here.
Sure.
And he's just been a huge benefit and blessing to the city, which is just crazy. Him and I have been able to partner on a number of things. We do the Shattering the Myths in the local high schools throughout the school year. So we're doing that. He's been a huge blessing to us here. And he comes, speaks to our groups here. And whenever I've asked him to help out with something, he's always been more than willing to do it. So he's a huge blessing. So him and I, Jason Carlson from Parole, Steve Baker with the Feds, and then Chief Thomas at Heights Police. We're going to be speaking with parolees and probationers and people in the community about facing choices in regards to the guns. A lot of the stuff that's been happening with the senseless shootings going on in our city. We wanted to have a candid conversation, and we're going to have a couple guys, Rich Griffin, Robert Williams will be joining us. Both of them had served well over 20 years in prison on violent gun charges, and now they're out doing great things, and so they want to come back, and we talk about how one choice can change the whole trajectory of your life.
Big time.
And so coming back not in a scolding thing. So DJ will come in and say, hey, if you do get caught with a gun, here are the consequences.
You're grown up now, and this is how it happens, and
exactly.
You're making choices.
Exactly. And Steve's going to come in with the feds and say, here's what makes these types of charges federal crimes. Here's what will happen. Chief Thomas, obviously love that guy. He comes in and just keeps it real, gets on the
real quick
ground level. Yeah, real quick.
There ain't no messing around with Chief Thomas.
He doesn't play around too much. So love him too. He's been a huge blessing to us here. And so him just coming in and talking about how it's impacting the community from a chief police perspective. And then me, Robert Williams, and Rich Griffin will speak from an experiential standpoint of having been involved with the guns and those actually being some of the crimes that actually sent us to prison.
Sure.
And coming back and really talk about, look, it's time for us. We got to knock this stuff off.
Yeah.
And we need to really think about our choices, because our choices are impacting many of people in our community. And people are losing their lives over it. So we just want to come and just...
Is that going to be right here?
It's going to be right here, Fresh Coast Alliance, 1128 Robert Street. So that's going to be August 15th.
August 15th.
And that'll be from 12 to 1 p.m. Just be a quick hour during the lunch break. And we'll be having this discussion. We'll have lunch afterward, too.
Nice. It smells good, too.
It does, yeah.
Lunch always smells good here. I was talking about lunchtime. I don't know how it works out.
The lunch ladies here they're fabulous. We got a whole team of them, and they do great. They bless us here.
What's up next?
And then our next event, now this is on August 17th, so 2 days later. This is our regional convening of Clean Slate, Michigan. And so this is, I've been working with a group of people across the state, and we're attempting to get what's now the expungement process in the state. We want to kind of broaden that out and really deal with not just one felony, 2 misdemeanors, but we want to be able to come to a place to where we can have the criminal records expunged completely.
Completely for somebody that's made the adjustments
exactly,
in life
and they're doing great. Yeah.
And
so there's that proving process, and it's like, because there's guys like me, and there's a bunch of women and men who are doing great now, taking care of their families, doing what they're supposed to do, and they're a benefit and blessing to the city.
Sure.
They're done with the criminal past. They're done with all that stuff, and so now they want to be a blessing to the community. But the criminal records are preventing them from doing certain jobs, living in certain spaces. And I think to really give a real true expression of offering second chances, this has to be a conversation that we have to have.
Absolutely.
So on that day, we'll be giving a legislative update on things that we've been working on over the last 18 months. We're also going to do a lobby day training for those who want to be a part of just a group of people that go to Lansing and advocate with the state reps. And then we're also going to do go through different things. If you're going to talk with your state rep, the do's and don'ts, what to ask, what not to ask, so that we're most effective in what we're doing. And then we're going to do an advocacy 101 training. So things because we have a lot of people come through here that are passionate about different things, immigration, pro-life movement, things like the Clean Slate, whatever it may be.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, if there's something that really means something to you that you're passionate about, but you wouldn't know where to start at in terms of advocating for it, but you come, we'll have a 101 training.
And you learn a little bit about it here.
And you'll learn a lot about it here.
A lot about it here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you get into a program like this, and this is something, we've known each other for quite some time. And I'm not one of these people that believes this, but the argument could be made that a zebra never changes its stripes.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, you and I can both counter that because we've done it.
There,
I could go back to drinking and boozing and carrying on and all that stuff. It was 16 years earlier this week for me.
Yeah.
So and we've talked about your past. We don't need to keep beating that dead horse. But what's the talk when somebody comes back and says, well, a leopard never changes its spots?
Yeah.
How do you?
It's and that's always a mindset that those of us who've been involved with addiction or been involved with incarceration have to deal with.
Sure.
And we realize that's going to be that school of thought is always going to be there.
And it happens. There are people literally that I'm like one step away from that still think I drink.
Yeah.
And it's been 16 years.
Yeah.
The closest I've come is cough syrup.
Yeah. Yeah. Our mouthwash or something.
Yeah, exactly. And these are people like, oh, he still drinks.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. And I get it too. I think some people think it's too good to be true.
Right.
It's like, oh, he still has to be selling drugs or he still has to be doing this. And it's like, you hear it. And it's like, because you get some people that truly believe genuinely that people can't change.
Right.
Now, what I think it may be is this. A lot of times people will see in others what they really see in themselves.
Yeah, projecting.
Okay?
Yep.
So they'll say, because in their minds, because they still do this or
Yeah.
they still do that, they're like, it's impossible for
you to
Andy
change,
to
right?
not drink
Yeah.
anymore because I can't, they don't see themselves overcoming that.
True.
So it's like, it cannot be true.
Right.
But really what they do, they just see in themselves.
Yeah.
Are they seeing others what's actually going on the inside of them?
Good point.
That's why people do what they do.
Right.
So knowing that, we just kind of say, hey, you know, I'm living my own solution.
That's all there is
So there's
to it.
really nothing to argue about.
Right.
And if you ever catch me, put it out there.
Put it out there.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
right.
but
Show it.
we attempt not to give our attention to it because we realize that can be a distraction.
Right.
And it's people trying to discourage people. And we just say, hey, that's where you're at. That's cool. But, you know, we're living our own solution. This is what we're doing.
And we're doing what we can,
And
man.
We're doing what we can.
You're doing great things.
Thank you, sir.
You got a website and all that?
Yeah,
Fresh Coast?
freshcoastalliance.org.
We'll link it up.
Yeah.
You'll find all the links
Perfect,
to the
yeah.
events and all that kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
We do it. We want to.
I love it.
Here we want to help clean up what we help mess up.
Yeah.
And so we played a part in what's going on in the city with the drugs and stuff. And even though a lot of them were minor roles in that, but we recognize that we're obligated and we feel compelled to help clean up what we help mess up.
I worked in media that didn't do its job for long enough,
Yeah.
and now I'm doing what I can here. So.
And you're doing a great job too. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All the links are right up here if you want to be a part of either of those events at the Fresh Coast Alliance. Make sure you follow them over to the website, get all the details, and come down and see Nate.
We'll do it. We'll see you later.